Okay, I want to take the time to talk to you about your last quiz. Your last quiz was about area. Looks something like this. Bunch of area problems, right? You had triangles, rectangles, parallelograms, trapezoid, another triangle, and then there was a page 2 where you had to find the area of a circle. I gave you these 2 free points because it didn't print out right, so those were 2 points for free. Then you had 2 word problems. Okay, the most common problem with this test was mixing up the triangle formula for area. I gave you 2 different looking triangles, okay? This one was a right triangle, and this one was an isosceles triangle. And I asked you to find the area of each of them. For this one, I gave you the height measurement, I gave you the base measurement. For this one, I gave you the height measurement and the base measurement. The area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. I noticed on the quiz, a lot of you used this formula for this triangle, but you did not use this formula for this triangle. Even though they look different and they're different styles of triangles, they're still triangles. Every single triangle, when you solve for the area, you're going to use this formula for this one and this one. So let's fill in some numbers and play with the answer. Let's say the height of this one is 4 and the base is 6. Let's say the height of this one is 3 and the base is 4. Okay? Let's see. The area of this one, area equals base times height divided by 2. The area equals 4 times 6 divided by 2. 4 times 6 is 24 divided by 2. The area was 12. That's just an example. That's not one from your test. That's just an example. The area was 12. Let's do this one. Area is base times height divided by 2. In this case, 3 times 4 divided by 2. 12 divided by 2, because 3 times 4 is 12. And the answer was 6, right? But not just 12 and not just 6. In the test, I would have given you units. Maybe this one was feet. Maybe this one was inches. Whenever you solve for an area, it is not just the number. This number tells me nothing. This number could be 12 lollipops, 12 pencils, 6 donuts, 6 textbooks. I don't know what you're talking about if you just give me a number. If you tell me, my wall is 6. 6 what? Your wall is 6 inches, 6 feet? No, it's not 6 feet. It's 6 square feet, or feet to the second power. You could have written it like this, or like this, or you could have spelled it out. Square feet. But if you left your answer like that, I would have marked that wrong. If you left your answer like that, I would have marked it wrong. If you put your answer with the 2, the exponent 2, in the wrong spot, I would have marked that wrong. The only acceptable answer on the test would have been square feet. And for this one, inches, square inches. On the test, it even says in the instructions, I will be grading your work and your answer. Don't forget to include the units of measurement. For example, the area of a rectangle 1 inch by 2 inches is not 2. It is not 2 inches. It is 2 inches squared, or 2 square inches. and every answer should have had the units squared. Okay? Anytime you left off the units, it was minus half a point. Here's another problem I saw with the quiz. The next most common problem was mixing up a parallelogram and a trapezoid. Let's talk about a parallelogram and a trapezoid. A parallelogram looks like this. A trapezoid looks like this. The reason they're different, a parallelogram, as it says in its name, parallel, all the sides are parallel in a parallelogram. These two sides are parallel. They're never going to run into each other if they keep on going forever. These two sides are parallel. They're never going to run into each other if they keep on going forever. A trapezoid is different. A trapezoid has sides that will eventually intersect if you keep drawing the lines forever. Right? These are parallel, these two, but these are not. Right? A parallelogram has parallel sides. A trapezoid does not. A trapezoid has sides that intersect. Okay? Parallel, intersect. The formula for the area of a parallelogram is base times height. The area of a trapezoid is base 1, that's this, one of the bases, plus base 2, that's another base, times the height, divided by 2. A lot of you use this formula for this and this formula for this. If you know which is a parallelogram and which is a trapezoid, this cannot be a mistake that happens. Make sure you keep these straight in your head. This is for a parallelogram, this is for a trapezoid. Okay? Here's the next most common problem I saw with the quiz. The question about the area of a circle. The area of a circle is pi r squared. In the test, I asked you to use an approximation for pi that was not 3.14. I asked you to put pi equal to 22 over 7. A lot of you were confused when I did this. I'll explain it now. The number 22 over 7 is equivalent to 3.14. I have a calculator here. I'm going to plug it in. 22 divided by 7 equals, I don't know if you can see that, but it's equal to 3.14. Okay? So you can use the fraction form of it in the formula and still get the right answer. Let's do an example. One of the questions I gave you, I think it was on Form A of the quiz, you had 7 millimeters here and 14 millimeters here. One of the challenges for you was to determine which one you needed to use in the formula. This is the diameter. You don't need the diameter in the formula. There's no D in the formula. This is the radius. You need the radius in the formula. So you needed to determine that you don't use the 14, you use the 7. Let's work it out. Area equals pi, which we already said was 22 over 7, times the radius, which is 7, squared. Okay? So 22 over 7 times 7 times 7, because 7 squared means 7 times 7. Now, multiplication is commutative. Commutative means that you can change the order of things and still get the right answer. Here's a quick little proof. 3 times 4 is the same as 4 times 3, right? 12 equals 12. The only thing I did was switch the order. I switched the 4 and the 3, and I still got the right answer, which was 12. So I'm going to switch around these numbers. I'm going to put 7 over here, and I'm going to move 22 over there, and I'm going to keep the 7 that we had here. 22 times 7 times 7 is the same as 7 times 22 times 7. Agreed? 7 over 7 is just 1, right? Now, if you would have used 3.14 for this number, you would have squared 7. 7 times 7 is 49. And then you would have had to multiply it by 3.14. Now, I don't know about you, but I would much rather multiply 22 times 7 instead of 3.14 times 49. This is way easier. That's why I asked you to use 22 over 7 instead of 3.14 as an approximation for pi. So let's work it out. You would have gotten 154, not just 154, but 154 millimeters squared. Okay, this is the last most common problem I had on the quiz with you guys. Question number 10. This happens to be Form C that we're looking at right now. Everyone had different numbers here and here, but the question was the same, so let's just work this one out. It says the label on a tin of paint states that it contains enough paint to cover 10 square meters. I need to paint a wall that measures 3 meters by 5 meters. Remember, this is Form C. Some of you had 3 by 5, some of you had 4 by 5, some of you had 3 by 4. Either way, you would have got the right answer. Will I have enough paint? This number was the most confusing thing for some of you guys. 10 square meters. 10 square meters is already an area measurement. It requires no further calculation. This is already the area of something. It's the area that the paint covers. Okay? This number does not mean 10 times 10. If I wanted to show 10 times 10, I would have shown 10 squared meters. The most important thing for you to notice about these two things, the distinction, is where the exponent is. The exponent comes immediately after the term that it's modifying. This exponent means that the unit of measurement is squared, square meters. This exponent means that the number 10 is squared. This means 10 times 10. This does not mean 10 times 10. It means the area. Make sense? And that's it. Those were all the problems that I had on the quiz, or the most common problems on the quiz. If you learn these issues and straighten them out, you'll do great on this section of the FCAT.